Welcome back to the Force 9 YouTube channel, welcome back to Football Manager 2018 and the Liverpool save, and in today's video we're going to have an in-depth look at our squad and have a look at where we can improve it in this transfer window. And then before the end of the episode we will have played a game to look at the match engine, a friendly against MTK. As always, to support the content, make sure you leave a like down below, leave comments, and if you want to see videos as and when they turn up on YouTube, do hit that subscribe button. So last time we sort of got into the game for the first time, had a look around at some of the new features, the dynamics, the medical centre, the new transfer screen, the scouting screen, and we had a look around. So today we're going to have an in-depth look at the Liverpool squad and see what sort of tactic we can build and who is potentially expendable, who we need to sign, what positions we need to improve. Let's start off in goal and let's see what we've got. So first choice goalkeepers, of course, Simon Mignolet still at the club. He makes mistakes from time to time, but he's got to be first choice goalkeeper. And, apart from maybe cup games and maybe the odd European game, he will be first choice. Behind Mignolet, we of course have Luis Karius, who was signed from Mainz last season for £5 million. His value's gone up, 15 now. Good at one-on-ones, good reflexes. I mean, I've yet to really see a great performance out of him in real life in the Liverpool goal. But he's not done a huge deal wrong. He's had some poor games, but every goalkeeper does. But he is going to be the backup to Mignolet. He will play cup games here and there, and he will play the odd maybe European game if, there's not a lot to play for. Behind them, we have Danny Ward as a third-choice goalkeeper who can do a job. He's going to be in the under-23s for now, and he'll be the first-choice goalkeeper in that reserve squad. But if we have an emergency in the goalkeeper department, then I'm confident that he can step up and, do a job. Other than that, Adam Bogdan's still at the club. I don't think it's going to be here much longer. In fact, we're going to transfer list him right now. Now, at right back, we have a bit of a situation, and that is that the first-choice Nathaniel Klein is a long-term injury, a spine injury, keeps him out for 4 to 6 months. So we might not see him until the new year, which is a big shame because I think he's a very, very good right back. But we're going to miss him for a while, meaning that we do have a couple of options, but we may need to throw in the transfer market, buy a right back. I think that's one position where we may potentially need to buy a player. Behind Klein, we do have John Flanagan, who had a loan spell last season at Burnley and only had 6 appearances. So he's not played a great deal. He's had a number of injuries in the past few years. As you can see here, he had 6 months out with a knee injury, and then he re-injured it in 2015. He was out for 10 months. So he's not played a great deal of games. I'm not sure if he's really good enough for us anymore. I mean, he had a really good season back in, 2013, 2014. The season where we almost won the league. He played right back almost the whole time. You wonder if he's going to grow anymore. So Flanagan might be on his way. I'm undecided on that one yet, but let me know what you think I should do with Flanagan. Another right back we have is the 18-year-old Trent Alexander-Arnold, who has made his way into the first team in real life and is kind of playing behind Joe Gomez at the moment. Joe Gomez we'll get onto in a second. But Trent Alexander-Arnold at 18 years old, very, very capable, and I would absolutely trust him to come in at right back. I've played the intra-squad friendly, and Trent Alexander-Arnold did play the second half for the senior team. So I think this guy can do a job. He looks very good. His crossing's good, so he can play further up the pitch as well. Maybe as a complete wing-back. Good teamwork, good work rate, physically fine. So Alexander-Arnold, I'm sure, can do a job at right back. On to left back, and I think first choice will be Alberto Moreno, the Spaniard, signed from Sevilla in 2014 for £18 million. Bit of a liability, doesn't tend to track back very much an attacking winger, like a wing back. Very pacey, stamina, decent off the ball, good work rate, crossing's alright, good tackler with the ball apparently, although I don't see that very often in real life. But I think Moreno is going to be our first choice left back. We'll see what happens with him. In real life, though, Moreno's probably been one of our most consistent players. He's definitely our most consistent defender, which I've never thought I'd say. So I shouldn't give him too much criticism, really. But I think he will be first choice on the left. But we do also have Andy Robertson, signed from Hull for £8 million this year. And he's not played a lot. He's played a couple of games, and he's looked very solid. In fact, he looks really, really good. The technicals are all great. 15s and 16s are good. Good first touch as well, which is always handy. Determination's decent. Work rate's great. Again, he's got pace. So Robertson looks very capable as well. So definitely some competition at left back for Moreno there. At centre back, we'll start with Ragnar Klavan. He was signed by Jurgen Klopp. I think he was Klopp's first summer signing. I think Grujic was the first signing he made, but I think Klavan was his first summer signing. Been a bit of a failed experiment. He was only really going to be a backup centre back, but he's not really played a great deal. I think Klavan's going to be on his way out. He's valued at 11.5. We're going to put him on the transfer list and we'll see if anyone bites. But Klavan, don't really think we're going to be using him, so he's on the transfer list. Dejan Lovren, I would love to transfer list him. I'd love to get him out of the club because he makes my blood boil sometimes. But, you know, just like Klopp is, I'm willing to give him a chance in this squad. 16 heading, 17 tackling, 15 marking is all good. Mentally, he looks very good. Physically, very balanced. You know, on paper, looks like a very capable defender. We'll see what he can do. But for now, I am going to give him a chance in the first 11. And he will most likely play alongside Joel Matip unless we sign another centre-back. Gone on a free transfer from Schalke. I'll do the name fixes once they're all released. I think they might be already. But Joel Matip, he's already wanted by Spurs. I don't think they've actually launched a bid yet, but Spurs are interested in Matip. I have no intention of selling him unless they bid stupid money. But again, looks very, very capable as a centre-back. 16 heading, 15 marking, 15 tackling, 17 positioning is good. Again, pace is great. Good jumping reach. He is, how tall is he? 6'5", so big presence in centre-back. Now, Joe Gomez, if we're missing Lovren or Matip, or if we just want to rotate, Joe Gomez will be playing centre-back. He won't be playing right-back, which is why I want to sign one, because we can't just rely on Alexander Arnold, and I don't think Flanagan's going to be playing very much. So that's why I want a right-back, because at Joe Gomez, I would much rather have him play at centre-back. He looks very, very good still. 4.5-star potential ability could happen. Signed from Charlton Athletic. I actually used him when I managed Charlton back on FM15, one of my very first saves on this channel. And he got a few red cards, but he was a very capable centre-back, even then at the age of, 17, 18. So, Joe Gomez, I like Joe Gomez, I really do. Moving on to midfield, one of the key things I want to do in this first season is tie down Emre Can for a few more years, because his contract runs out at the end of this year. It seems like in real life he's trying to run it down, which I'm not too happy about. So one of the first things I'm going to try and do, in fact we're going to try and do this now, is try and get Emre Can tied down for a new deal. Now he is waiting for us to name our price. He's going to be first team. He's earning 45 at the moment, which actually isn't very much. I reckon he's going to want about double that. But I'm going to go in at about 75. How about that? What's he going to say to that? Okay, right. There's negotiations happening here. He wants to be a key player. I'm going to put that to first team. Lock that in. He wants 87. Let's go for a nice round 80. We'll put that to 3 and 2.5. Try and round those out a bit. I want to try and get rid of the wage rise because that could come back to bite us later on. And that's a 400s. The appearance fee can probably come down a bit. Let's go to 60. And we'll put that to 24. What are we going? There we go. He's agreed to that. Okay, so we have tied down Emre Can for a few more years, assuming that all goes through. He might still snub. So Can, someone that we definitely want to keep around. I like the look of him. I think he's very, very good. So I'm going to keep Emre Can. Gini Wijnaldum, I don't think he'll be starting every game. I think it depends who we have fit. But Wijnaldum, again, looks very, very capable. I just feel like this midfield, he's an advanced playmaker. It doesn't seem like it sometimes, though. I feel like we need a bit more creativity in this midfield if we're going to sign a midfielder, but that might have to wait until next year or maybe January if we go into the January market. But Wijnaldum from Newcastle, £23 million. Again, I think he's really good. James Milner will be, a proper leader in that midfield. Free transfer from Man City, of course. Takes the penalties, unless Salah takes them and misses them. But yeah, Milner, when he's playing, he'll be, the real leader in that midfield. If Henderson's not playing, he'll be captain. So definitely try and get one of those two in. Mentals are fantastic. There's the penalties at 15. Decent crosser, good first touch. They have actually put him so that he can play at left back as well, which he was doing a lot last season because Moreno was just out of favour. So, if we do have a bit of a situation at left back, Milner can play there. But primarily, he will be playing as a midfielder. He's actually quite capable in the new roles of the Carrilero and the Mezzala, which I've yet to use. Jordan Henderson, of course, captain, leader. He can play as that carrier as well, and he can play as a Segundo Volante as well. So Henderson can play a number of positions. I think he will just play as a box-to-box though. 18 determination, work rate of 18, leadership 16, physically fantastic. Henderson he's the complete box-to-box midfielder, isn't he? Marco Grujic, I'll try and get him involved here and there because Klopp hasn't really played him a great deal. I think if he gets the game time, he can be really good. He's wanted by a couple of Italian sides for a loan deal. I mean, if he's not being played, then maybe sending him out on loan is a good thing to do because at least then he'd be getting some game time. But I want to try and use him a bit this season because I want to see what he's made of. Oxlade-Chamberlain can play as a central midfielder, but I think he's much better as a winger, so he'll play on the right-hand side if we play him. Lazar Markovic, I think is surplus to requirements. I don't see what we're going to do with him. I don't think I'll use him. Sadio Mane will play as many games as he can. I like the fact that the Cup of Nations has now been moved to June, and there isn't one next year, so we have him all season round unless he gets injured or suspended, both of which has happened this season in real life. Mane will play as much as he can because I think he's the best player we have. I think he is Liverpool's best player now. Mane will probably play on the left-hand side. Mohamed Salah will play on the right-hand side. Of course, 35 million signing, 31 million apparently, from AS Roma. Had a spell at Chelsea, didn't really do very well there, but comes to Liverpool. He's looking good, and again, stats-wise, he looks great. I mean, pace is off the wall. Off the ball's fantastic. Technique, finishing, dribbling. He looks great. So again, he's going to play as much as he can as that inside forward. Adam Lallana is injured at the moment, but when he comes back in, we'll try and get him involved. Valued at £50 million, so we could potentially cash in if there's interest. When Adam Lallana is back to full fitness, we could cash in because £50 million value is pretty insane. Philippe Coutinho will be playing as the number 10 in my tactic. He can play on the left-hand side. He can play in central midfield, but he's going to play for me as the cam. I would just want to build the team around him and make him, the real creative force in that midfield. He looks incredible still. Hopefully we can hold on to him. Barcelona might come knocking, you never know. Although Mane actually is the player that's attracting interest from Barcelona and from Real Madrid. So Mane is going to be the one that we need to keep hold of, really. Elsewhere, Roberto Firmino, I think will be playing up front in this tactic. Maybe as a false nine or a Tricatista, although if we do go for someone like Sturridge or someone like that there, then he can play on the left. Or he can play in the middle as the attacking midfielder. We'll see what to do with Firmino. He's a tricky player to work with sometimes because of he's not really a striker, but Klopp's treating him as a striker. It's kind of an odd one. Who else do we have here? Daniel Sturridge. Surprise, surprise, he's injured at the moment. So he's got a thigh injury at the moment. He's going to be back in 3 to 6 weeks. So once he's back, I think he'll be on the subs bench most of the time. Divock Origi, who's on loan at Wolfsburg. And then Danny Ings. Do we hold on to Danny Ings or do we, maybe send him out on loan, get him some games? Because I don't think he'll play a lot for us. I'm not really sure what to do with him. Dominic Solanke bought from Chelsea. If it turns out the way that Sturridge did when we signed Sturridge from Chelsea, then I'm excited. Solanke, I think, will be on the subs bench. So I think Danny Ings, I think we might send him out on loan. But Markovic is definitely being sold, as is Klavan and probably Flanagan as well. I think that's the only sales that we're definitely going to make. Flanagan, I'm not even totally decided on. I'm not sure what to do with him, but let me know what you think I should do. And if there's anyone else that you don't think we should have. Now, in the transfer budget, we have £75 million to play with, so we could still sign a host of players. And the wage budget of 160 a week is very tasty as well. So we could look at getting, I think a right back, a centre back, a creative midfielder, and a striker. I think that's 4 positions this season that we need to try and improve or add to. So I think that's 4 players that we want there. Maybe some youth in there as well. If we can get a few like wonder kids, we can do that. But I don't really know who to look for in this game. In terms of wonder kids, I'll have a look around and see who I can find. Okay, we've got our first pre-match tactical briefing. We haven't had one of these yet. In the intra-squad friendly, by the way, the result of that was 5-0. We'll have a look at what happened and we'll have a look at who played. So a 5-0 victory. Henderson got 2 goals in as many minutes. Firmino scored in the 25th minute, and then in the second half, Danny Ings scored just after the hour, and Wijnaldum scored in the 83rd minute. At half time, I changed every player. I changed the whole 11, and then Ben Woodburn came off, and Solanke came on 77 minutes. Yeah, you know, it was 5-0. It was against the under-23s, as expected, so well done. But this will be my first tactical briefing. Now, it says that we've regained possession well in central areas, but the negative is we've lost possession in central areas. So we've won and lost possession in the same place, which makes sense. So let's handle the briefing. Despite a fair atmosphere in the room, most of the players are preoccupied with something else. Don't really know why. Right, let's talk to the team then. This is the tactic we played. I think we're going to play the same one. No reaction. Let's just hand over to the assistant. That's fine. I don't really know what that does. I guess if you want to change something different, say you wanted to play counter-attacking, you'd do that. But they don't seem too bothered about it, so I don't know what difference it makes. But I guess when you're doing those later in the season, when you've got more to play for, then they'll be a bit more important, but who knows. But here we go, MTK versus Liverpool. Now the team selection, we have no Emre Can, so we will have to bring in someone else in midfield. That will be Gini Wijnaldum, and we'll leave him as the roaming playmaker. So this is the tactic that we're looking at the moment. This might chop and change with time, but for now, this is what we're playing. So you've got Simon Mignolet in goal. Left back, you've got Alberto Moreno playing as a wing back on automatic. John Flanagan on the right, a wing back defend. Lovren and Matip in defence. Wijnaldum playing as the roaming playmaker. Henderson as the box-to-box. Coutinho playing as the Ungonch. Now, it doesn't look like he can play it very well, but I think reading the description for the Ungonch, it fits him to a T. Read this. The Ungonch is the side's prime creator, a hook that joins midfield and attack and operates behind the strikers, and a playmaker who sticks to his position and becomes a pivot to his team as they move around him. Unlike the Trequartista, it's a more stationary role, as the Ungonch acts as a focal point instead of moving around larger areas of space. That suits Coutinho to a T. He is the prime creator in this side, and we build the team around Coutinho. So that's why he's playing as the Ungonch. Mohamed Salah will play on the right-hand side, not on the left. And I just clicked on Mane. So Salah will play on the right-hand side as the inside forward. Sadio Mane on the left as wing support. Yep, that's fine. Firmino playing as a Trequartista. The bench will need to change a bit, so we'll get Markovic on the bench, I guess. And let's see who else we can add, maybe from the under-23s. Who do we have here that can play? You know, just so we've got that extra man in midfield, we'll put Herbie Kane on the bench. And I think that will be it. Yes, there we go. So on the bench, Karius, Robertson, Clavan Gomez, Alexander Arnold, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Grujic, Markovic, Milner, Kane, Ings and Solanke. It's nice seeing the word Kane in the Liverpool side, although it's not the same one. We are on attacking and fluid. The team instructions at the moment, we are playing, I'm going to play balanced, high tempo, slightly high defensive line, you know, that high pressing game, closing down more, going to retain possession, be more expressive, sticking in positions, working the ball into the box, looking for the overlap and clearing the ball to the flanks. That's a lot of instructions, maybe too many, but I always have quite a lot. Let's go to the dressing room then, and we will just say to our team assertively, there are places up for grabs, so impress me. They don't seem that bothered. So we'll hand over to the assistant. Lots of players listening keenly. No massively positive reactions. So let's kick off. Now, we are going to be playing this with a different camera. The team's going to walk out, but we're just going to go straight into the game. Now, the camera that I used last time was a bit different. We are on the TV camera, but we've got the camera height not at the lowest. Not like this, but, you know, just a little bit higher, like about here. But I've got it zoomed all the way in, and the replays, I don't know if you can reverse them or not, but I'd like to try and do that. But the replays on the director's camera, not 2D Classic. What is this, FM 2017? But yeah, the replays on the director's cam, so we'll see what happens here. Hopefully the bitrate will be fine. I've not really tested it too much, so I'm hoping that it'll be fine. But if you do still enjoy the 2D Classic layout, then we might go back to it, who knows. But, you know, the match engine does look much, much cleaner. I do like the look of the graphics on that now. It's very different. We're still only in the 10th minute. We are only on key highlights, I promise. But nothing's really happened yet. And as I say this, we've got a Firmino on the board. Managed to score in that friendly. And here is Sadio Mane. And Mane does find the net. And in the 10th minute, we take the lead. But Mane went through. Do you know what I don't like? You don't seem to be able to move this. This looks... I wish this was somewhere else and not right in the middle. I wish this was like on the right-hand side. That's one gripe I have so far with the game. That is complaint number 1. But Mane opens the scoring. Good goal. Firmino's been kind of quiet up top. Not really had a lot to do. Lovren's been booked. So that's not a big deal. It's just a friendly. If you can get a half-time 1-0, that's fine. I'm disappointed we haven't scored more than one, really. A corner here. And it's in. MTK have scored a goal. Daniel Guerrero and MTK have scored a goal and equalised. This wasn't supposed to happen. So here's a replay then, and it was in from the corner. Well, do you know, Liverpool are conceded from a set piece. I should have seen it coming, shouldn't I? We're going to go in a half-time 1-1. Not really what was supposed to happen. Firmino's not done a lot. So we'll go into the dressing room. And again, I'll go assertive, and I'm going to say... all your hard work will pay off later in the campaign. Again, they don't seem bothered. There's 20 seconds left to get a winner here. And it doesn't look like we're going to get it. It's going to be a 1-1 draw in our first pre-season friendly. I know it's just a run out, but I don't know how we haven't won that. Because, I mean, we were all... look at that. 60% possession, 23 shots to 7. And their goalkeeper, and Krosman as well, got their assist. They managed to get a goal, which they really shouldn't have done that. But their goalkeeper was very good. That's why we play friendlies. Much improvement is needed. Most players reacted positively. That's good. We'll leave it there. But first pre-season friendly, and we didn't win it. That's not good enough. I'm sorry, but that's just... you can't do that. But next episode, we will have played all of these pre-season friendlies. We'll be on to the Man United game. And hopefully you'll see some new signings as well, because I do need to try and buy a few more players. And we have the money to do so, so we'll try and buy some players with that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below, leave comments. And if you want to see videos as and when they turn up on YouTube, do hit that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next episode, where we're going to Old Trafford. What a way to start our league season. The opener at Old Trafford. We're not going to win it. Man United are massively overpowered on this game. And I don't think we're going to win it. I think we're going to lose it. Pretty badly, probably. We'll see what happens. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.